Welcome back to Hogwarts Legacy, and here we are on part 20. We just finished the Haunted Hogsmeade DLC mission, and now we're gonna find Poppy and go talk to her, and let's see what we can do with the dragon egg that we found earlier. Should be fun to see what will happen. Let's check it out.
I didn't keep you waiting, did I?
Not at all. I was just at the post office. Gran told me to expect a package, but it looks as if she forgot to send it. She didn't send me an owl this week either. Perhaps she's busy with her research.
What was she sending you?
Only some feed she's been developing. I was going to give it to Professor Howin for the measles.
What kind of research is she doing?
It varies from week to week, but it's always to do with creatures. Last week she was studying leg knots in plimpies.
What did you find out about the dragon you were tracking?
I realised that she didn't know the poachers had her egg, so when she left Horntail Hall, she would have headed straight to her nest. I went back to the tent and tracked her flight.
How do you track a dragon long after she's gone?
Tree canopies, burn marks, things like that.
Well done. You certainly know what you're doing.
I can't be certain, but I have an idea of one place she may have been heading. I thought we might go and see it for ourselves.
Of course. Shall we leave now?
If that's all right. I want to see how she's faring if she had a collar on. And she's likely frantic about her egg. Here we are. I do think this is where we'll find her. The terrain's typical of where the breed would nest. I suspect it's how the poachers found her to begin with. They likely camped here and logged her patterns. Perhaps nabbed her first and then her egg. Dragons are hard enough to wrangle, let alone maternal ones.
You got all of that from simply standing here?
You'd be surprised how easy it is to think like a poacher. Shall we see if she's home? We only need to return her egg.
That sounds straightforward enough.
We should be in and out. Then we can be finished with the poachers once and for all.
I don't suppose you've thought about keeping it, have you?
No, it belongs to her. Keeping it will make me just as bad as the poachers.
If you're right about finding her here, how do we go about returning the egg?
Her nest will likely be in the heart of her den, which she will be keeping guard over. It might also be more charred than anywhere else, I imagine.
Well then, let's find our dragon and return her egg.
Wonderful. If she sees us flying about, she might take it as a sign of aggression or food. We should stay on foot. Oh, and one more thing. Let's not agitate her. Goodness knows she's been through enough already. I'm ready when you are. There she is, above us. She did make it home safe. Oh, good. It looks as if she wasn't collared like the other dragons.
Alright, looks like the dragon's there, and we are at the dragon's lair. But of course it is trying to defend its territory, so let's make it up as quickly as possible.
For what it's worth, she doesn't seem to have spotted us yet.
Let's hope it stays that way.
Defender, stop border!
I'm kind of curious to find out whether or not the dragon that we're fighting right now and the dragon egg that we have is the same dragon that we encountered at the beginning of the game. That would be pretty interesting if it was, and would kind of showcase how small of a world we live in, and including the wizarding world. But man, these side missions, some of them are really fun. And you know, I really like spending time with Poppy, helping her out with all the different animals and taking care of all the other beasts. So let's go return this egg to the dragon, and let's hope it's not too difficult.
I wonder how good her eyesight is.
I beg your pardon?
I don't imagine the poachers fed her well. And from a distance, we probably look exactly like sheep to her. Hebrideans love sheep.
How lucky for us.
But man, so far this game is very beautiful. I'm really enjoying the changing of the seasons, showcasing the different sections of the game. And I think we progressed pretty far in, and I think we're probably like 2/3, if not 3/4 of the way done. So
Or just raring for a
got
fight.
little animal there in the snow, but
What was that?
here we are in the dragon's lair. Let's go check it out. Oh man, that dragon is very menacing. Really reminds me of Game of Thrones, you know, at the very end of the series, in which we see Drogon right there with the Iron Throne. But so far we don't have an Iron Throne here, but still very cool nonetheless. How would your guys' reaction be if you guys just saw a dragon out of nowhere trying to dodge everything that the dragon throws at us? But more realistically, you know, if we went back in time, you know, just like that 65 million years ago movie or even Jurassic Park, how would you react to dinosaurs? Because, you know, they're so fascinating to think about. But in reality, if we're living with them, I feel like it would be very, very scary, and you have to accommodate and understand and cater our nature towards them. Because, you know, we would have to coexist, but I'm sure there'd be bad characters that would, you know, exchange these dinosaurs for money. But we're getting really close to the belly of the beast. I mean, we're progressing further, making the dragon back up and entering closer to its lair. So all we want to do is return your egg and be on our merry way. Because we know you want your egg, you know, that's your kid, that's your child, and we don't want you to harm us in any way. So let's progress as fast as possible. Let's enter this cave, and hopefully we can return the egg peacefully and quietly real quick. I can tell we're getting really, really close, and I'm so happy that we're able to find the egg back to its home.
We're almost there.
And I'm kind of curious to know how precious and how rare dragon eggs and dragons are in this world. Because Game of Thrones, they hadn't seen a Targaryen or in Westeros a couple hundred years, right? So kind of curious to see how common they are. I remember one of Ron's brothers, Charlie, I believe, was the one that took care of dragons. So there we go. Let's return it and let's see how the dragon reacts. And oh man, it's being very, very protective, of course. But I think it'll come to find that we're only really trying to wrong the rights of the Dark Wizard. So hopefully the dragon enjoys its egg back, and hopefully it lets us go very freely. But oh man, that's scary for Poppy. It's really cornering her. But there we go. Think it will be like Buckbeak, where we get to interact with the dragon. And okay, cool. Little apprehensive, but you know, we did the right thing. You know, the child, the egg's back with its mother, back with the dragon. So that's what we like to see. Alrighty, well, we did the right thing. Good job, team.
And did you see how clever? She left us perfectly unharmed.
Creatures are a lot cleverer than most people realize.
That's what Gran always says. The important thing is that we survived it, and we returned her egg. Thank you for doing this with me. Wouldn't blame you one bit if you wanted to head back to the castle and never think about dragons again.
Shall we head back? I'm ready if you are.
I am. After our dragon rescue at Hauntel Hall, I half expect to be ambushed by poachers any time I'm not in the castle.
Understandable. We did sabotage their fighting ring and steal a dragon egg from them.
True. So why haven't they come after us? It's not like them to let things lie. Unless
what?
Unless they haven't let things lie. Oh no, I can't believe I didn't see it. We need to leave. I need to send an owl.
Alrighty, well there we go. We just returned the egg back to the mother. So very good job by both Poppy and I. There we go. We see each other right. We got a challenge complete. And we have unlocked more gear. So that's awesome to see. Alright, looks like Sebastian has uncovered more about the dark arts, so he wants to meet us and talk to us about it. So let's go find him and let's get to it. Alright, we are
You're here.
near the
Good.
catacombs of Feldcroft, so let's go talk to Sebastian and see what's
that
up.
relic you mentioned,
I believe one of Slytherin's students stumbled upon the relic during an assignment to study sarcophagi in this catacomb. From what I read in a report by the student, they weren't permitted to take it with them, so I must assume it's still here. As I mentioned earlier, this relic grants its holder the power to reverse dark magic curses. If it's in this catacomb, I have to find it. For Anne. I need to see her.
I'd be interested to know what else the student discovered.
Have a look. Unfortunately, there's no name on it, but I suspect if it was important enough for Slytherin to stash in his spellbook, it's worthy of further study.
I'm ready to explore the catacomb. Perhaps we can visit Anne when we've finished.
Perfect. By the way, Ominous has been asking about you. You didn't tell him what we were doing, did you?
I didn't. I promise.
Good. Ominous would be livid if he knew what we were about to do.
Alright, well here is the catacombs where we'll be learning more about the dark arts, so pause if you want to
I'll be
read the
interested
rest,
to
but
compare what lies inside.
we'll see
to
what we'll
I've read
find in
about
the
this catacomb.
catacombs. Let's get it.
I'm sure that foul smell is the scent of success. Try not to lose your nerve just yet.
Alright, well we got like a Tomb Raider section again. Here we go. Gotta fight these spiders, so let us create a spellcast set that'll really help us out. And looks like the spiders are 25, which is around our level, so should be easy for us to take care of. Okay, looks like Sebastian's going full on dark spell mode.
At least now we know we're not alone in here.
Perhaps that was it. And the rest of the tomb will be insect-free.
Yeah, spiders aren't insects.
Don't start.
Accio! Opening all of these is tempting.
We're here for a reason. I'd say opening them all is justified.
We're really tomb raiding because we're just opening all of them up, but hopefully we can find this relic and, you know, help Sebastian out in what he wants to do, but, you know, gotta be careful not to delve in too far because we've seen good wizards and good people turn bad, so
Finding
it'll
a
be
chest
very,
in an
very
inconspicuous
important
loft.
for us
Brilliant.
to make sure we don't cross any line and make sure we're doing the right thing, because, you know, I understand if I were in Sebastian's situation, you know, I'd want to help out my loved ones too, but here we go, we got a level 26 spider, so might be a little more difficult for us to defeat, but Sebastian's got one suspended in air, which is very, very cool to see. There we go, we got one more left in this section, and man, throwing objects at our opponents is very, very
We've rid the world of another
good
spider.
chain
I shall
of
sleep
combo,
better tonight.
and just chaining all the spells together
Now this is
really
the sort of
helps
great
us
we
out
want to be buried
in
in.
defeating our enemies
Surrounded by
quickly.
grandeur.
Grandeur and then some.
But it's
Even an
interesting
altar
to
with a
see
pile of
how this
bones.
game was able to
Lovely.
help
Bones
us
outside a
incorporate
sarcophagus.
some of
Seems
the dark arts elements,
There's something here by the altar.
and to let us, you know, learn defense against the dark arts, but also experience the dark arts
We're in
itself.
the tomb.
Because
assume
I
there is
remember
sounds
hearing,
from the territory.
like, the school that Durmstrang, Victor Crumb's from, they actually taught the dark arts, and we're one of the darker schools, because, you know, Gellert Grindelwald went there too, so it's kind of not surprising that that school probably promotes and has the most dark wizards throughout the history. So I'll move forward to when I solve this puzzle. It's about stacking those bones on the pillars, and I'll just showcase when I get there. So we'll see you in a minute. Alright, well, in the catacomb right in the middle of the room that we were in, we found a note, so go ahead and pause to read it, but we shall be able to solve the puzzle to move forward. Let's get it.
What did you find?
Looks like part of a student's diary. It mentions plans to return for the relic and conjuring barricades using bones.
Of course. The student's summary referenced the space beyond the Great Room, which means this can't be a dead end. Let's divide and conquer. You work on sorting out the bone barricades, I'll look around and see what we missed. Hold on to that diary entry. There may be more to it.
It does mention something else. It says their next assignment was learning the Imperius curse.
Really? Interesting. We need to focus on moving beyond this room. But let me think for a moment.
Do you think the pages were left here on purpose?
Slytherin mentioned a student who excelled in charms and always carried a satchel stuffed full of notes. They might have been left on purpose, or the student may have simply dropped them.
Of course. I'll start to search for those barricades.
Brilliant. There's more to this than even I imagined. Look, bones stacked oddly on either side of this archway.
Leave no stone unturned. Or in this case, no bone.
Right, well, all the bones are in this room, so I'll skip ahead to when I'm able to find all the bones and put it at this pillar here to open the passageway to move forward. So there's one set, and we'll see you in a minute. Alright, so the bones were scattered all throughout the room, and you just had to bring it over here to the wall, and it unlocks the doorway. So that is a very unique type of magic.
I felt it in my bones.
Good pun right there by Sebastian, feeling it in our bones. But let's go find this relic now.
Something.
Feel like we're getting really
the student's
close.
diary mentions the Imperius curse. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to need it here. It's an unforgivable, but useful when you're outnumbered. Places the victim completely under the caster's control. So, if you'd like to learn Imperio, I can teach you.
Where did you learn the Imperius curse?
I taught myself. Don't tell Ominous that I've told you. It's not exactly something I can brag about, but it may come in handy. I think you ought to know it.
Shouldn't I know more about what the curse entails?
Remember the blasting curse? Same idea, except when it comes to unforgivable curses, your intention has to be clear. You have to mean it.
It's probably wise to know the spell.
I couldn't agree more. A spell that could save your life shouldn't be unforgivable. You have a lot at stake. You have an ability that evidently no one's seen for centuries. Focus your wand movement. It's not an easy spell to master.
Alrighty, well, here we go. We're learning the second unforgivable curse, Imperio, where we can take control of people's minds. So it kind of looks like a 4, but it's got a very unique spell casting
Something
shape.
troubling ahead. Be on your guard.
There we go. I think these unforgivable curses are the ones that I'm only going to use for combat against our enemies. But that's it. But that's cool to learn and see. Very glad to see that the game gives us the option to do that. And I'm really curious to see how deep the game will let us delve into the dark arts. But with this save file, with this character Axel, because he's a Gryffindor, I don't think I'll delve into the dark arts as much. But if my character was like a Slytherin, man, that would be a totally different story. But I think one of my favorite, oh man, woo, so many spiders. But one of my favorite aspects about this game is that there's always an option for us to learn all these dark arts. I'm glad that, you know, in the original Harry Potter series and in those games, you could only learn good things as the hero. So here as a, you know, character, you write your own story and you choose how you want to customize your character. So that's one aspect that I really love and enjoy about this game so much. And I think one of my favorite animations with the ancient magic is when we can shrink the size of the enemy and step on them like the spiders in these cases. But the unforgivable curses are very, very powerful. So let's take on this last spider, get some help from Sebastian over here, And let's progress our way as far as we can through this dungeon, because, you know, we want to find that relic, get out of here, and, you know, try find and help Sebastian out to help his sister. So let's get it. Let's get it. It's crazy to think and to know that Sebastian is really learning these dark arts. I mean, he's learned 2 out of the 3 unforgivable curses. That's just crazy. So
This catacomb
I
has
hope
suffered
he
decay,
doesn't dwell too
just
far.
as the student's summary
And
described.
you know,
I
I'm
doubt anyone's
presuming
been
we're
here in
gonna
quite
learn
some time.
the last unforgivable curse, the Avada Kedavra spell. But I don't know. That'll be interesting to see how his storyline pans
Perhaps
out,
we need to pull
because,
the handles in the
you
order
know,
of the symbols on the
Ominous
tablets.
is the voice of reason for Sebastian, but, you know, Sebastian's really got a mind of his own, so he's very laser focused on one thing and one thing only, which is to help out his sister. But, you know, I don't know where that'll lead, and that's kind of scary to think about, but just goes to show how enticing the dark arts are. It looks like we got more of this bone door, so let's go find the bones around in this room, do a little bit of tomb raiding, and it looks like, okay, each one of these drawers has a symbol, and each wall has a pair of symbols to get through. So I'm gonna assume that once we unlock these, bones will appear. So let's find the right one to match up. So we got the circle one. Hopefully that'll unlock a
That
door.
worked.
There we go.
Keep going.
That one didn't have anything. So just gotta keep on finding the corresponding walls with the symbols, and let's unlock them. And let's find these bones so we can unlock the door and move forward. So this isn't too hard of a puzzle, it's just matching shapes, matching symbols. But let's hope we can find some bones. There we go. There we go. So this is the way, as the Mandalorian would say. And I'm so happy that there's a new season of Mandalorian popping up. And looks like we might have to find one more set of bones. So let's keep going, and let's find the way out of here, because that'll be super beneficial for us. Okay, that one just had a chest, got an unidentified back item. So let's just open this last door, and let's hopefully find some bones in there so we can unlock the door forward. There we go, and voila, we got some bones to move forward. All right, feel like we're almost there. We're almost down to the
You are
final
head and
section
shoulders above
of
these
this.
bones. Nicely done.
And man, Sebastian coming up with these dad jokes is
I see why
pretty funny
Slytherin's
with
student
these
was so
bone
entranced with
puns.
this place.
But there we go. I think we're really close. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. We're getting close. We're getting close out of this dungeon, out of this tomb. We're being Tomb Raiders, just like Lara Croft. So I don't know. Did you guys ever play that game? You know, whether it's the new ones or the OG ones, because I remember playing both. One on the laptop, you know, PC, and then recently on the PlayStation playing, you know, the first Tomb Raider of the reboot. I have all 3 of the new series, but I've only played and beaten the first one, and I want to play them in order. So, you know, if you guys are interested in maybe playing through that, let me know in the comments. I think that could be a cool series as well. But, you know, I really enjoy playing the sports games, so, you know, I'm probably gonna lean towards that and make my channel based more towards that. But, you know, I grew up with Harry Potter, really love it, still to this day. So when this game came out, you know, I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to share, you know, my passion for the world, and to be able to showcase and highlight this for you guys to enjoy as well. Because I remember as a kid, you know, you only have a finite budget as a kid, gotta wait till your birthday or Christmas to get these games. So, you know, I grew up watching a lot of playthroughs on YouTube and to experience the game through that way. So, you know, if I can help with that, that'd be awesome. And we gotta find the relic, and it looks to be in the middle over there.
Dead end.
But let's explore a little bit.
Nothing.
Hold on.
Because
Don't give up yet.
super detailed, super nice, and many Easter eggs and hidden things to find. But I think we see the relic on the table, so let's go get it and check it out. Right, so pause if you want to read the note. But we also got an illustration. Man, that looks like Imperio. Looks like a pyramid. Really
Sebastian,
reminds me of the
relic.
Deathly Hallows logo with all three
Could it be?
things there, you know, the invisibility cloak, the Elder One, and the stone. So let's go talk to Sebastian and see what he thinks.
It matches. This must be where the student left the relic.
I can't believe it. After all this, it lines up. We've really found it.
What do you suppose is meant by the dark sacrifice required to realize the relic's potential?
I have no idea, but we're here for the relic.
The note advises to leave the relic alone.
I assure you, we were meant to find this. For Anne's sake. I'm taking it. Let's get to Feldcroft. I must keep this relic secret. Especially from my uncle.
Okay, well, let's get out of there. And oh, who's that? Oh man, Ominous followed us through. He
Ominous.
must have heard everything we
The
said.
sounds we
Oh
kept
man,
hearing. It
wonder
was
what he
you.
has to say about all
You
this.
gave me no choice. I had to follow. Sebastian, please, leave the relic alone. We can find another way to help Anne.
I'm sorry, Ominous, but I'm taking it.
No, you're not. If you won't put it back, then I will.
Hold on, both of you. Sebastian, please, take a step back.
Fine, but Ominous knows. I won't step back from a fight.
Can't believe this.
How much did you hear?
Everything. I was glad to hear you tell Sebastian to leave the relic. We need to stand together. Convince Sebastian this is wrong.
And if nothing will change his mind?
Something has to. I need your help.
You're right. This seems far riskier than Sebastian realizes.
Good. We're agreed. We don't allow him to leave here with the relic.
I do think we should talk to him, but I fear we won't stop him from taking the relic.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting we negotiate. We allow Sebastian to leave with the relic under one condition. After this, no more.
I feel that's what we agreed to in the scriptorium. I'm being taken for a fool.
You're not, Ominous. This may be the only way to keep your friendship intact. Let's trust him to know what's best.
Fine. If I trust him on this, I'm trusting you too. The dark arts seem harmless until it's too late. Go then. Leave with the relic. I'll not say a word more. I hope I don't regret this.
Sebastian, we're ready.
What is it? I haven't changed my mind.
Ominous has. Let's go.
What? Ominous?
I'll explain on the way. Come on.
Okay, well, looks like Ominous isn't too thrilled about it, but, you know, I think we can persuade Sebastian maybe to not go off the deep end. So let's leave the catacombs, maybe go through the way that we came from. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I can only imagine what Sebastian's gonna find through Salazar Slytherin's book and through that
What happened?
object
Ominous
we
and I
found,
found a
that relic.
compromise.
So
Ominous simply
man,
needs to
I
know
don't
that you and
I
he
don't
changed
like
his
where
mind.
Sebastian's
That's
heading.
it.
I told him we ought to give you this chance. That the relic is too important to ignore.
There has to be more to it than that. Tell me.
We agreed on what was needed, Sebastian. You have my word.
Alright, well we're starting to see some light, so I think we're almost out of the catacombs here, but got some spiders to get through. And man, they're level 27 and 26, so they're higher level than us, so I think we're gonna have to do some world exploration and make sure that we level up as much as we can, because you know there's it's gonna be scary when the opponents are very higher leveled than us, so let's get out of here as soon as possible. Let's try burn the spider webs over here. See if there's a path forward. Doesn't look like it, but it looks like we got some extra gear, but our slots filled, so gotta complete some more Merlin trials, I guess. But let's get out of here. Come back from the way we came from. And there we go. We already explored there. We found a chest earlier. But there we go. We're near the marker, so I think we're almost out. That's what we like to see.
As we were leaving, Ominous wouldn't even acknowledge me. That's not like him.
He was troubled, Sebastian. Even though we agreed to it all, it's been a lot to take in.
I thought he understood. We couldn't give up. All of this is too important. For Anne.
But Sebastian's going down a really, really dark path, and oh man, it's so unfortunate to see. And oh, says return to Feldcroft, but we can see smoke up in the distance at Feldcroft, so that's not a good sign. Not a good sign at all.
She thinks like Ominous. It had only upset her.
Alright, we're getting closer, and we might be dealing with the aftermath of something.
Oh no,
or, you
this
know,
isn't good.
we might have
What is
to
it?
fight
Smoke,
through
over there, by
the
house.
enemies that we see. Curious to know whether
Feldcroft's
it's
in
the
trouble.
goblins
They're under
or
attack.
whether it's the dark
Let's
wizards
hurry.
or a mix of both. But man, that's very sad to see, you know, peaceful village just be attacked by bad people. It looks like we got a mix of both goblins and dark wizards. And we got Sebastian's uncle fighting there. We also got his sister trying to defend. So let's make our way and get through these bad guys as quickly as possible. There we go, we're making quick work of them, so that's what I like to see. Let's get it, let's get it. Man, holding opponents in the air is a very good way to maximize damage on the opponents. And those red exploding barrels are pretty useful too. Looks like, you know, what was a handful of enemies is now only a couple, but more have spawned. But that goblin attack, where they just increase in size and attack with blades, that is a very cool one that they have. Really cool skill set, like we just saw there. But let's do our best. Let's do our best. And let's get rid of these goblins real quick, and these dark wizards, because they shouldn't be interfering with Feldcroft or anywhere near Hogwarts, causing mayhem for all of us living here. So, got one more guy. Should be able to make quick work of him. And boom, there we go.
Boy! What have you done?
Saved my sister.
With an unforgivable curse. From that damned book, no doubt. Your father would be ashamed. You've gone too far, Sebastian. Stay away from her. From all of us.
What did my uncle expect me to do? The Imperious curse saved Anne's life. That goblin was going to kill her.
There was little time to react, but it was an unforgivable curse.
I acted in the moment. That's all. I shall make my uncle see reason. He cannot banish me from my own home, from my sister.
It might be best to let him calm down a while. May I speak to him? Perhaps I can help to ease the tension a bit.
You may be right. Very well. Probably best if I get away from here for a while. I'll head back to Hogwarts.
Oh man, that was very dark. Sebastian's, you can tell his character's changing a bit. He's delving too much into the dark arts, and that's negatively affecting him and his family, even though, you know, he's
What
trying to
was
do
he
right.
thinking?
But man, that's tough.
Pardon me, Mr. Sallow.
What Sebastian did was inexcusable. You cannot possibly be about to defend him.
Sebastian acted rashly, but he acted out of instinct to save Anne.
Out of instinct? With an unforgivable curse? This family does not resort to using dark magic even against our enemies. What Sebastian did cannot be undone. That you are defending Sebastian's behavior at all tells me everything I need to know. You are as guilty as he is. Sebastian is to come nowhere near Feldcroft, nowhere near Anne. Unforgivable curses are so named for a reason. If I hear that either of you continues down this path, if either of you uses dark magic, I will notify the headmaster immediately.
Man, that must be tough to see from a
Sebastian?
parental figure perspective, and maybe through his sister too. I mean, you know, what's happened, and there might be a cure, but at what cost, right? At what cost? That's what we kind of have to figure out and kind of deduce with Sebastian. But man, that ended off on a sad note. But you know, that was the mission. That was us delving into the dark arts a little bit. We learned another unforgivable curse, Imperio, where it's basically mind control. But you know, I'm really enjoying the game so far. Hope you guys are too. Thank you for the support. Like, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next
It
one.
seems all
Take
roads
care.
lead to Hogsmeade.